Hey, welcome back everyone. It is time for another red hot cover call video. Well, hey, look, today I'm going to talk to you about why I believe NVDA is going to 180 and why I believe the Dow is going to 50,000 in 2025. Now, these are all pie in the sky projections, but what I'm here to tell you is this: with this current stock market rolling higher, we're looking at the Fed's decreasing interest rates going into 2025. We have potentially oil falling back to around $50 a barrel. I draw that bit of information from when Trump was president last time, where minus the pandemic, oil averaged about $50 to $52 a barrel. I could see it right now at 68 finding its way down to about $52 a barrel because he's going to want to pump. We're already pumping at all-time highs. So this is going to be an environment where oil companies are not going to be as profitable because the product they sell, the price could be falling. So right now they're getting $68 a barrel, but I don't think so in 2025. Now, let's talk about NVIDIA because we've used NVIDIA throughout the year. This year in 2024, we've used NVDL. Now, NVDL is the 2x leveraged ETF to NVIDIA. So when NVIDIA moves 1.88%, NVDL falls 3.75%. It's a 2x leveraged ETF to NVIDIA, and its ticker is NVDL. So as you can see, we've used NVDL this year, 2024, and we've made some $29,000 in covered call and cash secure put profits. In fact, you can see I do a lot of cash secure puts. We love it because what we do is we play the mid and support line. Now I'm going to show you NVIDIA's mid and support line. You're going to see exactly why I recently have done an NVDL 70 put. And I'm going to show you why I believe this thing is going higher. You know, recently we have had a brokerage come out and give NVIDIA a new price target of 180. Now when we do the math on 180, NVIDIA would have to move 25% from 144 to 180. That is 25%. Now, recently, NVIDIA has been added to the Dow. If NVIDIA is going to move from 144 to 180, and in this market I believe it could, then I believe the Dow is going to move higher. And when we think of the Dow trading for 44,000, to get to 50,000, all you need to do is have a 12% rally. Right now, the Dow is up over 12% this year. And what I believe going into a very stock market friendly environment next year, I really believe we're going to get Dow 50,000. That's a huge number, but it's right around the corner. So with those pie in the sky predictions, how do we trade it? Because at the end of the day, it's all about how we can make money trading this market. Now this market right now seems to be Bitcoin driven. I mean, Bitcoin is absolutely banging right now. It's up $3,800 today. It's now trading in and around 85,000. And I'll tell you, it seems like it is lifting all tides. All the Bitcoin stocks are moving. Now, focusing back on NVIDIA, we are at all-time highs. Granted, just the other week it was 148, but give or take a couple bucks, this thing's at all-time highs. It is a $3.5 trillion company. Now, I'll tell you, I never thought they would give a company a $1 trillion valuation, but now we have at least 4 of them. So Wall Street is not afraid to give these stocks, these companies, huge valuations. And in fact, NVIDIA right now has a PE of 67, and they just keep buying this thing. It's down today, but I'll tell you, think about NVIDIA's business. NVIDIA sells GPU chips for the gaming sector. It is the 800-pound gorilla. They also sell mining equipment for Bitcoin. Right? All those GPUs are being used to mine Bitcoin. And now that Bitcoin is rocketing into the 85,000s and might even go above 6 figures, more and more and more of NVIDIA's GPUs will be purchased to mine Bitcoin. There's only so many Bitcoin that can be mined per day, so you better have the best equipment. If you're a Bitcoin miner and you have last year's equipment, you are not going to mine as much and you are going to lose money. You're going to lose to your competitors because if they're out there buying NVIDIA's new super chips, then you're lagging behind and you won't make as much as the other miners that have invested in new equipment. Now throw AI on top of all this, where you're hearing all of these companies like Microsoft, Amazon, Apple, all these companies are buying the AI chips to provide AI services to all their clients. They have to buy the best chips, and right now NVIDIA has the best chips. So they have three incredible rich profit streams. So could NVIDIA move 25% higher in this market where they're lowering interest rates, making money cheaper, so businesses have money, they can buy all this new hardware? You could see how money flows up to NVIDIA. Now, with that said, I'm not going to profess to be an NVIDIA expert. I don't know much more outside of trading its stock. And of course, trading its stock, we love to use NVDL. It's the 2x leverage ETF to NVIDIA. We get 2x the movement and the price is a little bit cheaper. Meaning we can buy 100 shares with $7,900 versus 100 shares at $14,000. Now you have to understand volatility does not equal risk. This thing is moving $3 and it's down 4%. You have to tie NVDL to NVIDIA. NVIDIA is down 2%, NVDL is down 4%. So you can't freak out about that. And if you do, then you can't be playing NVDL. So NVDL is my trade of choice when it comes to NVIDIA. So let's go ahead and look at its chart because we don't do anything blindly. We always look at the chart. It tells us a story. And its story is incredible. But what I want you to notice is this. Now, this is NVDL. And if we lay NVIDIA on top of this, they basically trade the same. In fact, let's bring up NVIDIA's trade because what we don't want to do is get confused here. We always trade the underlying. We always research the underlying. Then we use the 2x leverage fund to trade it. So looking at this, you can clearly see an uptrend with NVIDIA. And it's beautiful because this thing just keeps going higher and higher. Now, one thing I want you to notice is that right now, if you look at the last resistance, which is right here, where it bounced off recently, what do you notice? You notice that it breaks resistance here. Now it's moving higher. Stock markets are moving higher, so it's moving higher. Well, notice when it comes back twice, it comes back at that 131, 132 level. Rallies higher, gets to 148. It's peeling back. Where do you think it'll peel back to? Well, I'm making a bet that it's going to peel back to 131. And when we look at the chart of NVDL, that would be in and around 70. Now, it says 68 there, but it would be around 70. So this is what I sent to my members. You want to be a member because all year long we have been doing these in-the-money covered calls, cash secure puts on all these leveraged ETFs, mainly leveraged ETFs to the index, but we do use leveraged ETFs to stocks. And in this case, it's NVIDIA. We use NVDL. This is what I do for the members. One thing that I'm really talking about at the membership is the two-trade methodology. We put on our very first trade, and I just explained what it was. It was a cash secure put at 70. Because I believe the support for the stock is going to be 70. Now, of course, if the markets crash, then it's not going to be 70. But in the most part, it's going to be 70 in a normal trading market like it is today. 70 is where I'm going to plant my first flag. Now, you can see that 70 is going to ride support. So the very first trade is an at support trade. That's what we want. We want a more favorable chance that the stock falls and then it might recover, right? Because when they're selling, there's going to be buying on a company like NVIDIA. So what's the second trade? Because see, here is where most people always lose in this game. And you might be one of them. You put on the first trade and everything's good and it goes bad. It goes bad. The stock falls way below your strike price. You're assigned the shares much higher and now you don't know what to do. Well, at the membership, I show everybody we do 2 trades. Our first trade is booked, it's in the bag, and now we're just waiting. And what we do is we have trade number 2 set up if we're assigned the shares. Now, if we don't have to do trade number 2, that's fabulous because trade number 1 finished and we made money, we moved on. But if we have to do trade number 2, we have to be ready for it. There's no question. We place the trade. It's automatic. And that's where you become a great trader. Most average traders that lose, they do not have the ability to pull the trigger on trade number 2 because they think it's going to go higher and they're going to miss out. That FOMO hits them. Well, what I'm here to tell you is you always take what the stock market gives you. And if the stock market doesn't give you what you think, well, you take it anyway because if you miss, you could have missed that opportunity to at least pick up that tiny little crumb for trade number 2. My trade number 2 works like this. You can see it right here. I'm going to read this for those that are on the phone, and it's small. Trade number 1 is a cash secure put with a premium profit of 800. If this trade expires worthless or buy back the option, it's profitable. That's all good, but if we're assigned the shares and the stock price in a worst case scenario were to fall an additional $5, that would be 65. I could then do an at my cost basis covered call, potentially making $6 more. It's trading for 80 right now. Stock falls to my 70 strike and it goes down to 65. Trade number 1 is the cash secure put. We bank that money. We now own the shares. Trade number 2, without hesitation, is an at the cost basis trade of 70. It's a covered call. We're going to try to do this for 2 weeks on the front side, 2 weeks on the back side. And if you can't get the covered call you want on the second trade, push that out to 3 weeks or 4 weeks. That's how we do it. It's bang, bang trade. You do not hesitate. So many people ask me, did you write the covered call? Well, of course I did. You need to have 2 trades for all your selling premium trades ready, locked in, and you execute. This is why I love NVDL, because if this were to fall to my support line of 70, I don't have a problem with it. I love that number and I'd love to plant my flag there. If it were to continue to fall, maybe down to 65, I can get off a 70 covered call, feel good about it. And if it were to fall a little bit more, then the entire market is absolutely taking a bath, because if NVIDIA is falling from 144 to 130, and that's basically where that would be, that means the market is selling off tremendously. So we kind of have to just hold on, or we come up with another trade. So we always plan for 2 trades. We always try to execute on those trades. Now, before I let you go, let's take a little look at the Dow, because not only did I tell you that NVIDIA could go to 180, and I do believe that. I do believe it can go to 180. I'm not making a prediction. That's somebody else. But let's look at the Dow. See, the Dow is moving higher. Do you see this trend changing? With the Fed lowering rates, I just don't see the trend changing. What I do see are these nice run-ups and then these hella sell-offs, but they run it back up. Look, Wall Street is the only place to make fast, quick, sexy money. They're not doing it in real estate now. They're not doing it in mergers. They're doing it with Wall Street. So they're going to run it up, make everybody happy like they are now, and then they're going to sell it off, make us feel baroque. But then the bottom fishers come in, then the gamblers come in, and they run it higher. So my take is this. To get to 50,000, all we have to do is get 12% on the Dow. How do you play that? If you wanted to play the Dow instead of NVIDIA, well, let's take a look at that. You got UDOW, which is a 3x leverage ETF to the Dow. We've played this for years. I haven't played it in a while, but look at how the chart's identical. And this is a 3x leverage ETF. You can get involved using a leveraged ETF with the Dow. So if you agree with me and you think the Dow is going to move another 12%, that could happen. That could happen. The one thing I'll tell you about UDOW, they only have a monthly trade. So let's say you bought the shares here, you would have to do a December 15th trade. So I like the weeklies. That's why I'll use the other indexes instead of the Dow. I'll use the TQs, I'll use TNA. You could use UDOW for the Dow or UPRO for the S&P 500. Hey, look, my members get all of these trades. They get all of these. Every single one of them the members saw this year. They could have taken on those trades and made money. When we use the cash secure put and in the money covered call, it gives us that downside protection. I love downside protection because when you have the market going higher and then it slams back, usually it moves back to support, and that's where we have planted our flag. It's a conservative trade, but when you use the leveraged ETFs, you can make money. You can make actually more money using leveraged ETFs to the indexes and sectors than you can the individual stock. I can prove that by running the numbers. So go to cptdashboard.com, click Upgraded Dashboard, and get your 1 free month. Join what we're doing at the membership. Members get exclusive videos you don't see here on YouTube. All I do is try to up your game. I'm telling you, you want to be a part of the membership. The phone app shows you all of my current trades in and out when I closed them. And of course, you get access to the world famous upgraded CTP dashboard to help you find your next covered call candidate. Hey, look, do me a favor. If you liked anything you heard today, subscribe to the channel. And hey, look, if you like this video today, bang that like button. It lets me know you like what I'm doing. cptdashboard.com. Click Upgraded Dashboard. Get your 1 free month offer. Hey, look, be safe, be healthy, most important, be lucky. Until next time, may all your covered calls be profitable.